Congratulations, you've made it to the final day of your 10-day transformation. Way to go. It's really awesome what you've done. Now, we've covered a lot of territory, and I applaud you for keeping up with it. Before we come to the end of the series, there's one more very important step I want you to take. I want you to commit to continuing this work beyond these 10 days so you can continue to build on what you've accomplished so far. The only way you will ever achieve your goals is to commit to the process of constant and never-ending improvement and continually keep moving forward. Now, don't get discouraged by roadblocks or setbacks. They're just learning opportunities that will point you in the direction you need to be going. And don't listen to anyone who says you can't do it. You absolutely can if you put in the effort to understand what it is you want from life and figure out what you need to do to get there, and then take that action. Consider the story of Hollywood screenwriter Greg Borton. He began writing the screenplay for a movie called Dallas Buyers Club in 1992. And after drafting 10 different scripts for the movie, he spent most of the mid-90s trying to sell it, but no one was willing to finance the production of the film. That film was turned down by potential backers 87 times before Matthew McConaughey eventually signed on 17 years later. A company that bought the script in 1996 ended up going bankrupt. Then Universal bought it and tapped Brad Pitt to star in it, but then never ended up making it. Years later, a version was going to be made starring Ryan Gosling, but once again, the financing fell apart. Borton had to wait until 2009 before he could get the rights back to his own script, nearly 20 years after the script was first conceived. That's when Matthew McConaughey was convinced to come on board. And as you probably know, he went on to win an Oscar for his role in that film, and it ended up being a huge commercial and critical success. It's a good thing Borton didn't give up, right? Or take stay-at-home mom Debbie McComber. When she decided to pursue her dream of becoming a writer, she rented a typewriter, put it on the kitchen table, and began typing each morning after the kids went off to school. When they came home, she put the typewriter away and she made them dinner. After they went to bed, she pulled the typewriter back out and typed some more. She followed that routine for 5 years. Her husband Wayne supported her writing, even when it meant the family had to scrimp and save to survive only on his salary. They went without vacations, the kids wore hand-me-down clothes, and they lived without any frills or any indulgences at all. But all that sacrifice and persistence paid off. After 5 years, she sold her first book. Then another, then another, and another, and another, and on it went. Now Debbie has published more than 150 books, many of which have become New York Times bestsellers, and 4 of which have become made-for-television movies. Over 170 million copies of her books are now in print, and she has millions of loyal fans. Why? Because she refused to give up, even in the face of adversity. You see, when you commit to making continual and consistent progress forward, you can accomplish amazing things in your life. What might you accomplish if you were to commit to taking 1 or more small steps every day toward accomplishing your goal? Think about it. If you wrote 5 pages a day, that would be 73,000 pages of text, the equivalent of 243 books of 300 pages each over the course of 40 years. If you saved $5 a day, that would be $73,000, enough for 4 round-the-world trips. And if you invested $5 a day with the compound interest at only 6% a year, at the end of 40 years, you'd have amassed a small fortune of around $305,000. That's the power of commitment. And I strongly urge you to bring that power of commitment into your life. You will be truly amazed at how much you'll accomplish if you just commit to moving it forward and making it happen. And to motivate you to do this, after this video, I would like you to take out a piece of paper and write down your next 5 action steps to continue building on what you've done so far. And if you haven't completed all the lessons in this series, commit now to going back and finishing them all in the next week or so. Schedule time to continue working on the cleanups and incompletes you identified in the Make Room for Success assignment from day 8. Identify concrete actions you can take to move closer to achieving your goals in all areas of your life, your personal life, your career, your relationships, and so on. The only way you can take the next step is to figure out what that step is and then move your feet, your hands, and your heart and make it happen. In the meantime, congratulations again for successfully completing your 10-day transformation journey. I look forward to hearing from you and learning how these principles have changed your life. Until then, I wish you all the best.